For nearly 2 decades, Ellen Pompeo has been the beating heart of Grey's Anatomy. As Dr. Meredith Grey, she has guided viewers through heartbreak, loss, love, and triumph, becoming one of the most beloved television characters of all time. However, with her reduced presence in season 19 and 20, speculation has been rampant about whether she will return in full force for Grey's Anatomy season 22. Is Meredith Grey truly gone for good, or will she make a grand return to the halls of Grey Sloan Memorial? Let's explore what we know so far, from Ellen Pompeo's own words to behind-the-scenes hints, and what a potential comeback could mean for the show's future. Ellen Pompeo's reduced role in Grey's Anatomy. Season 19 marked a major shift for Grey's Anatomy. After leading the show for nearly 2 decades, Ellen Pompeo stepped back from her role as a full-time cast member, appearing in only a handful of episodes. Her departure was framed as Meredith moving to Boston to pursue Alzheimer's research, but the show made it clear that her story wasn't completely over. In season 20, her presence was even more limited, with sporadic guest appearances and continued voiceovers narrating the episodes. The show still felt Meredith's presence, but for the first time, it was running primarily on the strength of its ensemble cast rather than on its longtime lead. Pompeo herself has been vocal about wanting to step away from the series, citing a desire to pursue other projects. However, she has also expressed deep gratitude for the show and its fans, leaving the door open for potential returns. The current state of Grey's Anatomy. As Grey's Anatomy gears up for season 22, it's clear that the show is in the midst of a transformation. While veterans like Chandra Wilson, Miranda Bailey, and James Pickens Jr., Richard Webber remain, newer characters have taken center stage. Dr. Simone Griffith, Dr. Lupus Adams, and other interns have been building their own storylines, much like Meredith and her original group did in earlier seasons. Despite this shift, the show has struggled at times to find the same level of engagement without its central figure. Ratings have remained solid, but many longtime fans have voiced their desire for more of Meredith Grey, believing her story isn't truly finished. Hints that Ellen Pompeo could return for season 22. While nothing has been officially confirmed, there are several indicators that Ellen Pompeo might return in some capacity for Grey's Anatomy season 22. Shonda Rhimes comments. Shonda Rhimes, the show's creator, has always maintained that Grey's Anatomy is Ellen Pompeo's show and that Meredith's story will be respected. In interviews, Rhimes has hinted that she would never close the door on Pompeo's return, leaving open the possibility that Meredith could have unfinished business at Grey Sloan. Pompeo's own statements. Ellen Pompeo has been careful in her wording when discussing her future with the show. While she has acknowledged that she's interested in other projects, she has also said that she'll never say never to returning. She has emphasized her love for the fans and hinted that if the right story came along, she would be open to stepping back in. Meredith's unfinished story. The way Grey's Anatomy wrote out Meredith left plenty of room for a return. She wasn't killed off, and her exit was framed as an open-ended new chapter rather than a definitive ending. With her deep ties to Grey Sloan, her relationship with Nick Marsh, and her ongoing research, there are multiple ways for her to be brought back into the fold. Fan demand. It's no secret that fans have been vocal about missing Meredith Grey. Social media is flooded with requests for Pompeo to return, and ABC executives are surely aware of how much her presence still means to the show's loyal audience. If fan demand plays a role, it could influence negotiations for a more substantial return. A major milestone approaching. Grey's Anatomy is inching closer to its 450th episode and, potentially, its final season. If the show is preparing to wrap up, it would make sense to bring Meredith back in a meaningful way to give her character the closure she deserves. How could Meredith Grey return? If Ellen Pompeo does agree to return for Grey's Anatomy season 22, what would that look like? Here are some possible scenarios. A full-time return. The dream scenario for fans would be Meredith Grey resuming her role at Grey Sloan full-time. This could happen if her research in Boston hits a roadblock, or if she realizes that her true passion lies in surgery rather than research. Her return could shake up the hospital dynamics and give the newer characters a mentor figure to look up to. A limited but impactful arc.